well. But that's always a concern as far as, will a month off affect the guys? It's kind of like a game one. You never kind of know what you're going to get. But again, we got a lot of great guys that do things right, and hopefully that gives us a chance to play well on Friday.
Keaton said, the first practice back, he felt the guys were a little bit rusty. Did you notice that? Has it improved since?
He's probably thinking about his arm, but yeah, I think it definitely, and that's kind of our whole offensive philosophy is just get great at what we do, and so there's going to be some rust when you take times off, and it's not going to look quite as polished. Now the good news is we've been able to practice for a couple of weeks, but sometimes this long gap, again, as a coach, it worries you, but again, we got guys that love the game and play hard, and I think if you do things right, you give yourself a chance to be successful.
It's an interesting matchup of contrasting strengths. They were good against the pass. You guys obviously pass it very well. What's the intrigue there for you to see how you guys stack up with that?
It'll be like you said, it'll be a good test, and I think they do a lot of things well. Most importantly, they all know what they're supposed to do. They're disciplined on what they're supposed to do, and they kind of execute their defense at a high level, which is, I think that philosophically they probably are similar to us. It's just we're going to do what we do and we're going to execute it well, and so that's it'll be a good test. And like I said, they're disciplined. They know where they're supposed to be. They just line up and do what they do, and it'll test us. But again, when we play well and we do things right, I think we can move the ball on anyone, and so we need to go play well.
Do you get personally competitive in a situation like this? Do you just kind of prove what your offense can do against a stout defense?
We're competitive against anyone, for sure. So, we want to go play well no matter who the opponent is. And like I said, in ball games, there's always that concern of having so much time off. You're always a little bit worried, but we expect to go play well. And again, no matter who it is, we want to play well, and we're competitive as coaches, just like our kids are competitive, and want to go win. So that's the goal, obviously.
Does this defense remind you of any team you've played so far this season?
Really not that I can think of, to be honest with you. They just line up, and what they've shown on film is different. I mean, it's the same over and over, you know what I mean? And they've shown on film is a ton of 4 down, and a lot of teams haven't done that. But, sometimes we get out there and they do things different than what you see on tape. So we'll be prepared for whatever. But, as far as just lining up and playing what they play, they're probably a little different than anyone we've played from that standpoint, or the base defense so far. And I'll be interested to kind of see early on what they're playing as against us, but I would assume it's just do what they do.
Trevino's called some games against this DC before. Does that help, kind of having somebody on staff who has experience against this defense?
I think that actually we play them in North Texas, so I've actually got to call against, I don't know if it's the same D coordinator, but against this Iowa defense, and it looks very similar to what we saw back then. But I think anytime you've played someone and have any sort of familiarity with them, it helps you. And so I think Drev, he does a good job against everyone, but especially against the defense he knows, I think it'll help, and it probably helps his guys a lot.
Is it kind of fun to be going up against somebody that you're not sure about exactly how they play, and you haven't played anybody quite like that? Is that kind of a fun challenge for you?
Yes, we'll see. I think that when they haven't played, when there's not a ton of similar opponents, sometimes it's a guessing game what they're going to do. Now, like I said, with these guys, from what they've shown, they just line up and do what they do. You know what I mean? And which, so I wouldn't expect them to change much against us. So I think that what you see on tape is, at least if you just look over the years, that's just what they do. And so that's what we expect to see. Now, if they do something different, it'll surprise me a little bit, but we've seen it quite a bit, and again, we'll be prepared for it. But he said it's them not seeing us or something that's that much like us. Hopefully, it plays to our advantage.
It both goes both ways. Yeah,
that's right.